Just as worship and prayer bring out the fervor of the religious faithful, so too is the passion of football fans ignited by their songs and anthems. Worshippers congregate in churches, mosques and synagogues, while the football faithful clamor in the seats of stadiums. It is here that the line between faith and fanaticism is most blurred, but where the similarities between organized religion and the followers of football are most clearly illustrated. If you are born into a Christian home, you are raised in that faith. The same for Muslims and other religions. And although it does happen, it's very rare to find people of different faiths in one family. For football fans, it is the same. Your allegiance and passion for that one team is something you are born with, not something you choose.
Bueno, yo desde que nací me hice hincha de Boca y Boca es lo más grande que hay.
Mi viejo, soy hincha de Boca, dos hermanos mayores, fanáticos, gallinas. Tenía que ser Boca, nací de Boca, no se podría hacer.
A Salta y a River Plate a todos lados.
El fútbol sea el deporte que juega la gente en general, ¿no? Digo, los chicos tienen una piedra y juegan al fútbol en la calle, una piedra, o el deporte que la gente se siente más apasionada por ver, por escuchar, ¿no? Uno basta escuchar los días que hay fútbol, cómo se escucha cuando hay un gol. Uno ya sabe, sobre todo en los barrios más pobres, depende de dónde vengan los gritos, sabe quién hizo el gol.
In Argentina, this passion for football raises the sport to much more than just a game. Having played for River Plate for 15 years, Dario Santini understands this more than most.
Most of the Argentine people feels the soccer inside. It's not a t-shirt that we wear outside. It's our skin. It's part of us. It's this is a true religion. It's something that our fathers tell us when we're born. No, when we have the enough ability in our mind to choose our team. In Argentina, we said you could change your wife, you could change your religion, you can change your sex, but you are not going any time to change your football team.
And this passion is not limited to countries famous for their football. Even in India, a country more renowned for its religious tolerance, football is seen as something unique. You might find 6 different religions in one team here, but they all take a back seat to the beautiful game. Renedi Singh plays for East Bengal in Kolkata.
In football, I think we have got a lot of players who are from different religions, and I think when we play, I think it doesn't matter much. Yeah. It's more like, we are here to play football, I think. Once you get into the ground, I think it's the same. It's only one religion, Football itself is a religion.
Mohamed Zidane, a devout Muslim, plays his football in Germany, but understands the passion people have for the game in his native land of Egypt.
Football in Egypt is like crazy. It's like everything. Make people happy, make people laugh, make people sad. I mean, a lot of homes, they just live from watching football.
Because of this intense passion, rivalry amongst football fans is huge. Around the world, famous teams do battle to the war cry of partisan fans who firmly believe in the dominance of their favorites. In Johannesburg, South Africa, Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates is the biggest derby match. Here, the rivalry runs deep, and you either support one team or the other. Mixing the two can sometimes prove hazardous to your health, as former African Player of the Year, Marks Mapunyane, explains.
Kaizer Motaung is an offspring of Orlando Pirates. He came back from America and then he opened his own team, Kaizer 11, and then it became Kaizer Chiefs. And obviously his nearest and closest rival would definitely be Orlando Pirates. Those days, you wouldn't move from Kaizer Chiefs to Orlando Pirates or vice versa without being threatened for your life or your family or your house being burned down.
This rivalry exists everywhere. In Kolkata, India, the biggest derby match is between Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, two teams whose fans are divided along political lines, but whose fervor takes the match beyond football, as experienced by Baichung Bhutia, the national team captain.
It's like Celtic and Rangers, what you have in Scotland, because either you're born East Bengal or Mohunbagan. It's a history that there was a partition between Bengal, and the East Bengals are the ones who come later on, and the Mohunbagans are the real Bengalis who've lived here. So that either you're born as East Bengal or Mohunbagan. So it's beyond football. So that's the reason why the passions are very high.
All this support has one goal: to win. To say your team is best, and losing is a tragedy.
When our team loses on Sunday, it's the worst Monday we can have. Once we team plays good and have a nice result during the weekend, we are still waiting Monday to go office and to be out on the street looking for the other fans, just to talk about what happened yesterday. And, it's a lifestyle.
No matches are more important to win than cup matches, and there are few trophies more coveted in world football than the UEFA Champions League. After all, thousands of people visited the Champions Festival in Rome just to catch a glimpse of all big years. While the Eternal City prepared for the 2009 UEFA Champions League final, it was not the only trophy to be won in Rome. Although not as well known or popular as the Champions League, the Clericus Cup has just as much passion and rivalry amongst its participants and supporters as any other top football competition.
La Clericus Cup nasce da un'intuizione che ebbe il cardinale Bertone. Disse 3 anni fa: in Vaticano io ho più campioni del mondo intero, perché ho presente presso tutti i pontifici collegi vaticani tanti ragazzi che amano lo sport e il calcio. Da quella sua frecciata intuizione mi è nata un'organizzazione fatta ad hoc: chiedere a tutti quanti i pontifici collegi del Vaticano di mettere in campo una squadra. L'intento era duplice: da un lato far giocare a calcio, perché il divertimento rende anche più allegra la vita in seminario, dall'altro formare anche i futuri sacerdoti e vescovi.
My participation in the Clericus Cup I find to be very important. I mean, it keeps me very active, and it allows me to form good, healthy relationships with the men in the house, and it also gives us more of a global outlook. We tend to be more concerned about what goes on in our own house. I mean, it works for everybody the same way. But the Clericus Cup really gives us an opportunity to look outside our own house and to be active participants in the Roman community in some way.
Our men come from many different places in the United States. We also have Australians, we also have a Brazilian, and we have a Nigerian playing for our team. And these men are seminarians preparing for the priesthood, and after their ordination they will return to different dioceses to work in the United States or Australia.
So, within the structures of the world's largest Christian organization, the Catholic Church, the world's most popular sport is being used to grow the next generation of priests and ministers. Surrounding this event in Rome is the glamour and fanfare of the UEFA Champions League, one of the highest achievements in a sport that some staunch religious peoples have said is drawing people away from their orthodox religious responsibilities by making football and those who play it more important than prayer and worship.
I do wonder about fan worship sometimes, the fan worship of the players. I don't think that if you asked people, they would say that their favorite athletes are gods, nor would they follow them in that way, although the practical expression of that seems to border on what we would call worship. I think that we're seeing, especially now with the media and the focus that is placed on our athletes, that they're not always the people that we want, say, our children to follow. And so we would hope that our children have good, healthy heroes, and we might discourage them in some way from following their favorite athletes. Although I think that because they have the right skills to play the game and they work hard, I think that they can be good role models still. And so I would hope that the children will be encouraged to look at them in that way, but to realize that they are humans also, in much the same way that we are.
Yes, they are human, these football heroes. But when you consider the amount of money that is thrown from one team to another, or from broadcaster to broadcaster for rights to screen matches, you have to wonder if they are indeed the same as the rest of us. They have their names on t-shirts and their faces in the windows on street corners the world over. And the faithful buy these icons because football, like religion, has its symbols. And to brandish them is to be counted a devotee, loyal to the cause of player and team.
Commercialization of football has, in a certain way, detracted from the game because people often play it on condition. The motivation is driven by a contract. If I'm going to get something out of it, I will perform to the best of my abilities. If not, then I won't.